Hello and welcome to episode 25 of Unemployed to Unstoppable. Big news, we've got a job offer. And welcome back. So here we are, Ecstasy have come in and offered us a interview for a job. So I've brought you back slightly earlier than anticipated, just to see what they got to say and whether we will go for this offer. So here we go. We've only managed one team so far. I think we've shown loyalty is probably a good answer. It'll be quite a change for us leaving our current job. Are we confident of handling such a big job? Are we confident? Of course we are. What do we think? I think a body of work proves we deserve a better opportunity. With your team currently define expectations, are we moving while stock is high? I wouldn't say it's because our stock is high. I think we deserve to be where we are. We've alleged to have broken promises to the players. Now, this is a touchy subject because I don't think I have, although the players do. I'm not going to make them any promises. I just think when you've managed as long as I have, that's going to happen. Looking for someone of performing to competition expectations. I think we're pretty confident of achieving what they want us to do. Previous manager didn't enjoy the best of relationships with supporters. I think we've always had a good rapport with our supporters. And they parted company with last manager too early. Can we give an assurance? Well, if they don't sack us, I'll guarantee we're here longer. But that's a different thing entirely. I think it's our intention to commit to a long, successful career. We understand the right back room. Don't propose any changes or develop players using the youth system. I'm quite a big fan of that. It's one of the aspects of the game I actually really enjoy. Make the most of set pieces. I think we would develop our corners again. High tempo pressing football, so they're probably talking gegenpress there. Make the most of work within the wage budget. It's a gimme. So we've just got to avoid relegation from League One in the first season and then work towards playoffs and onwards from that. So we're probably looking 2, maybe 3 seasons to get to the Championship, which I don't think is too bad. So we'll accept them and avoid the drop. Yeah, I think we could avoid the drop. A transfer budget of 3.14 million. Well, we've not spent a penny so far. We're a bit thrifty in the market, aren't we? So I think that is acceptable. Wage budget is more than anything we've ever dreamed of, so I think we'd be happy with that. Do we have any additional requests? No, we don't. So there we go. That concludes the meeting. I'll get back to you if there's any news on that, whether we were successful. Otherwise, I will catch you back at the game I originally intended to bring you back at. Catch you shortly. And welcome back. So there's the development. Exeter City have approached us to take on the job for a 2-year contract. So in the spirit of achieving the Premier League or a European Cup in the earliest possible way, I think the only option really is to take it, because I don't think we're going to get promotion this current season with Wealdstone. It wouldn't be beyond us the season after, perhaps, but this is going to step us a year or so ahead of where we were currently scheduled to be. So again, I see this as probably a stepping stone, 1 or 2 years with Exeter. If we can do well and get to the Championship, we'll maybe look again at making another move. So we will finalise that deal and become the Exeter manager. So this episode will slightly change now. This, instead of being 2 games from Wealdstone, this will be an evaluation of the squad we've got, some tactics, some set pieces, and we will work out roughly what we're going to do, what we're going to play, and who our new favourite players and fans' favourites are going to be moving forward. So I'll go through and evaluate the squad, and I'll bring you back once tactics and squad members have been decided. So once again, stay tuned and I'll see you shortly. And welcome back. So I've had time to go through and evaluate this squad. We're not doing too well at league position wise. In fact, we're well off the pace. When you look at the schedule of the games that have been, form's been in the gutter. So we really need to pick up a couple points. They've only had one win all season. Oh, sorry, 2 wins all season. So it's really poor. Squad wise, I think the squad's too big. If I'm honest, it's massive. I've just had to adjust the transfer budget to account for the wages we were paying because we were £8,000 a week over our wage budget, which again isn't ideal. Dynamics are in the gutter. We've got quite a lot of unhappy players. A couple of them because they were relegated last season and they're not happy. They've not moved on. Tactics wise, we've gone for a 4-2-3-1 wide gegenpress. I've chosen this because it fits with the club vision. So we'll keep the fast pace, high press, high intensity, direct football. And I've picked the team that I think is best suited to this formation and these positions. So the roles and abilities aren't too bad. The only change I will make in the future is Sami Tiamkani will come in as first choice keeper instead of KG. I won't try and pronounce his name because that's a proper Scrabble score, that one. But outside of that, I think that's probably the best team we could probably pick. Set pieces, I have been in and I've set them all up. So I've chose corner takers, throw-ins. I don't think I did the penalties, but I'll just see who steps up for most of the penalties. Corner-wise, I've set up the attacking, similar to what we were doing at Wealdstone. Try and get some goals. We've not got many great corner takers, but we're doing pretty good in terms of a squad. The team report doesn't actually look too bad. There are some good things in there. Don't get me wrong, there are some poor things, but in terms of the deep red, it's only really technique and depth. And depth, I think, is a bit cheeky because we've got one of the biggest squads I've ever seen. Staff-wise, we're a bit short. Coaching and recruitment, I've put job interviews or job adverts out for all of them to try and get the coaching staff up, which will help the players develop a bit more, stick the recruitment team up so we can find some reinforcements going into the transfer window, because we do have 2.44 million to spend. That's not to say we will spend it all. If the right player comes up, we will look to make a purchase if we can. I'm not in for a particular spot at the minute. I think we're not looking too shabby. I'll just see how performances go before we make any decisions. I normally like to start with a strong centre half and a strong centre mid, and then kind of build from that framework going forward. They want us to build using the youth system. I'm not convinced we have the right players in the under 18s at the minute in terms of potential. We've got one or two, and I'm talking high potential. There's no point investing all your time in low potential players. So we've maybe got a left back. It's probably all we've got at the minute. So we really need another youth intake to come through before we can really start to fulfill that club vision. With all that being said, then I think what I'll do is I'll click us through and I'll bring us back for our opening game in charge of Exeter City away at Forest Green. Let me know what you think, having a quick look at the squad. Where you think we'll finish? Do you think we'll be able to recover us out the relegation zone? I mean, we've got the game in hand and we're only 3 points adrift. So it's not insurmountable yet. We're not even halfway through the season. So if we can turn it around and make the right recruitments, I'm aiming for a much higher than relegation zone. We were fancied at the start of the season to finish 10th, I believe. Let's have a quick look at the season preview. Well, they've got a 16th now, but I think at the start we were predicted 10th. And actually, in terms of odds, we're not a million miles away from some of the other teams in and around us. So there's definitely a lot of potential here. Definitely something we can build on. It's always disappointing when you leave a club like Wealdstone that you've built the way you want it to be. But again, that's Football Manager, and we will move on to bigger and brighter things. So I'll click through. I'll get us ready for the next game. And please stay tuned and join me. And welcome back for the first game in charge of Ecstasy away at Forest Green. Starting lineup for today then is Grisaja in goal, Hume at left back. We've got Hefele and McDonald playing in the centre of defence with Facey at right back. Gomez, Mancini and Tunnicliffe playing in the deeper role in midfield with Broom just in front in an attacking playmaker role. Got Tamplin inside forward on the left, Williams out on the right and Lavery as a pressing forward up front. So let's get into it and see how we get on the opening game in our new job. I for one, I'm actually more excited than I thought I would be about taking over Exeter. I was kind of holding out for a championship job, but it wasn't coming. So I think we might just try and turn Exeter into a championship club instead. And then the next stepping stone after that would be the Premier League. At which point we've really got to go on and try and win something. I'm going to put us on a positive roll because I always think you should try and win every game. And we will just see how we get on in the initial match. We actually took off only one day before this game was due, so we've not had a lot of chance for training or anything to take effect to turn our fortunes around. So I'm not expecting any great changes just now in terms of results. But obviously we will do our best to see how we can get on. So a goal down straight away. Always going to be difficult in the first game in charge as soon as you take over. But again, this is just to us a chance to evaluate the squad, see who does play well, who doesn't play well, what works, what doesn't in terms of tactics, and we will see how we get on. So 15 minutes into the game, not the greatest start, but we will hopefully grow into the game. See who our new favourites are going to be. There was quite a few reasonably good players in there. First chance at a set piece then, throwing from Williams to Tamplin. He plays into the box and Lavery with a chance, but he doesn't finish it. So first chance for Exeter, not quite pulling it off, but it's good to see. 20 minutes into the game, still a goal down, but it's not been a bloodbath or a one-way game. We've not been destroyed by Forest Green, who are sat fourth in the league. So it goes to show that maybe we can compete with some of the teams higher up the table. And then it's just a case of getting your tactics right and improving some of the playing squad in the January transfer window, which isn't too far away. So we might have a chance to get the unhappy players out, make the most of any transfer budget and wage allowance we've got to improve the squad and see if we can kick on in the second half of the season. Fortunately, that goal's been disallowed there. So half an hour in, still only one down. Randall Williams not having a particularly great game on the right-hand side. Broom's another player who can play out there. So I might switch Broom out to the right and take Williams off for somebody else in that attacking midfielder role. We do have a couple of good players on the bench as well. Tamplin back to Hume. Hefele, good exchange. Tamplin with the ball now, back to Hefele. He plays long ball up to Lavery, heads it back to Tamplin, back up to Lavery. Chance one-on-one with the keeper, but no, he can't finish it. And they're the chances you really need to make your mark with that. And you look back to how good Gomez was at finishing when we were at Wealdstone. He's someone who's really clinical, and when he gets a chance, it looks like he's going to score. But we need that kind of finisher within this Exeter squad. And it's not to say we can't nip back to Wealdstone and maybe try and poach one or two of the best players from there. And I'm not saying we won't, we might. But that's the kind of calibre of player we need. So in at half time, I don't want to say we've got nothing to lose. I want to see something else in the second half. Lavery's a bit disillusioned up front, so what we'll do is we'll get him off. And we'll get on somebody who wants to be there. So Verdane Oliver, he's actually got some good stats in terms of effort, teamwork, work rate, jumping rate. So we'll get him on there, see if he can make a difference up front. And the other change I was thinking of making was we'll switch Ryan Broom out to the right hand side. And we'll take Randall Williams off and put Niall John on and see if that can impact a change. So here we go, second half. XG switched a little bit now. We've had a few more chances. We've kind of leveled up the XG. We've got a bit more possession than they've got. A couple more shots on target. We'll just show a little bit of encouragement, because maybe that's all this team's been lacking in a little bit, is a bit more of a desire to win. They might have been playing defensive all season and just getting outplayed, sat on the back foot. If we can get a bit more forward impetus, play a bit more positive and pressure the other teams, we might be able to pick up some points they weren't getting before. So coming up to the hour mark, still a goal down. It would have been nice to kick us off with a win, but again, we've got to expect that might not always be the case. We've got a tired player in the middle of the park, so Collins comes on with a chance to set himself a place in the team. Forest Green with a throw now on the right hand side. Can we win it back? It's looking like they've played around the side, and yeah, they've got a second goal there. I think slightly against the run of play, but that's what counts as goals. So it looks like they're picking up the 3 points today. 25 minutes to go. Broome not having a great game. A few heads dropping. But like I said, it's to be expected when you're in the relegation zone. So we'll see if we can just pick anything up. It'd be nice to get a goal to kick off some goal scoring form for the season and give us a bit of an indication that we can dig ourselves out of this. We have had more chances than they have, but again, it's got to be more clear cut. And it might be a case of we need to work the ball into the box rather than playing it down the wings, but we will see. 20 minutes to go. I'm going to put us on a bit more attacking, just to try and get a goal and get some confidence up for the players. It looks like this game's drifting out from us. There have been a couple of good performances. Keepers played well. Two centre-halves played pretty good. The substitute striker, Verdane Oliver's played a bit better. Broome's had a terrible game. And it might be just, I've got him as an inside forward, and he wants to be a winger. So again, that'll be another change I can make to try and up the ante and create a few more chances. So there you go, Verdane Oliver. He's made a difference since he came on. Got us our first goal. We've got 9 minutes to try and rescue something. It's going to be difficult. But again, it's good to get a goal scorer on there, and he might become one of our new heroes of the save and of the journey. 3 minutes to go then into injury time. I'm not thinking we're going to rescue this, or we've got 5 minutes. We'll just throw one more encouragement out there. 3 minutes to go. Can we scramble one last chance? Looks like it's just drifting away from us, but here we go. Facey with the ball right back. He's giving it straight away. He's got it back though. Broome with the ball now. Played it into the middle. But yeah, we just can't keep our foot on the ball. Yates is through again, and he's killed the game off dead in injury time. So big job in front of us. We've got to pick them up from this game. Tweak the tactics slightly in terms of might play with wingers instead of inside forwards just to get a bit more balance. Sort out a couple members. Certainly changed who we had up front, because Oliver's come on and made a big difference. And yeah, I'm not happy with that performance. I think we can be a lot higher up the table than we are. So there we go. Bottom of the league after the first game in charge. Big job to do. I will get busy tweaking things. I'll play us through a few games. Try and get some form up. And where will we bring you back? So I'll get through all this stuff. Charlton Wimbledon. I'll bring you back for the Charlton Wimbledon games. So once again, thanks for watching. Big job on our hands. Again, top tips. If anyone's got any transfer suggestions, tactic suggestions, or just wants to say where they think we'll finish or whether we'll get the sack, let us know in the comment section. And again, please subscribe if you want to make sure you don't miss out on any episodes. But once again, take care, and I'll see you next time.